Hey everyone, I'm here with Dr. Bob Norman and Darla Klingensmith, and we are here at the Flight 93 Memorial. First time I ever met Dr. Bob, but I swear I've known you for 10 years, right?
Agree, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really meeting him for the first time. I'm only meeting him actually in the flesh for the first time, but he's become a very good friend over the years. So, and I am publishing his first book. Woohoo! I'm becoming a book publisher, and like I don't even know how it's happening. It's just like happening. So stay tuned for Dr. Bob's book. However, today we have a bigger mission, and we are at the Flight 93 Memorial, where miracles are already happening. Like in my life, I used to sell my book here, and I had an issue where I got kicked out because I didn't have a permit to hold a Zoom class. And when we got here, it said, "Hey, Darla, why don't you tell them what happened when we got here? Do you want to do that?" She's like, "No." Okay. Sure. How about you, Bob? You tell them what happened, because I feel like if I do it, it loses its punch, you know?
Well, Jill and I were standing in the parking lot talking about how things happen in life and how God ordains things to happen. And as we were standing there by the car, she asked me if her hat was appropriate. I said I liked it. It matched her shirt. And over walked two gentlemen. One introduced himself as the superintendent of this place, and the other was the head of maintenance. And we had a long conversation about things, and Jill autographed a book for him. And so after not being able to sell her book here, but her deep connections to the place, for the superintendent and the maintenance guy just to walk over like that and have a long conversation with us was just, it was eerie, kind of eerie, because it was just, it just happens. And when you pay attention to what's going on around you, you'll notice more and more things like that happen. Things don't happen by accident.
And he walked over as if it was the most normal thing, and like we had a meeting set up.
Yeah. I mean, there was no hesitation, just directly over, introduced himself as if we were supposed to meet him here.
And in the next second, I was like, "I have a book for you. Hold on, let me sign it."
Yeah.
Just, you need this. And then I told him. He was like, "Wow," and he's looking at it, and I was like, "Yeah, it used to be on sale here, but now it's not."
It may be again.
And it will be again. It will be again. He told me, he's like, "Well, you go in there and you tell them the superintendent Stephen Clark sent you." So
yeah, it wasn't odd if you know that that's how things work in the world.
And this is the book.
Thank you, Darla. That's the book. Wait, let me turn the camera around so you can see what it looks like. For those of you who don't know me, this is the very first book that I ever wrote and published myself. And turn it around if you would, please. So that is the Freedom Tower there. And I wrote that book 10 years ago. I published it. I covered the story for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette of the opening of this amazing memorial. So I was here with the press the day before it opened to the public. And I covered the story as a reporter until I went inside and discovered that I was also part of the story, because I had left a little plushy Swiss airplane at the site, at the crash site, about a week after it happened, or days. I don't remember. It's in my book. The exact date is in my book. It was over there somewhere, right, Bob? Mm-hmm. There's a little country road over there that I left. My children left that airplane, actually. It was theirs. And I walked into the memorial as a reporter and got to the end and became the story when everybody found out that I had an artifact in the glass case, which is still there. You can see it for yourself. Little white plushy Swiss airplane. Now, we won't be able to use cameras in there. I believe they are forbidden, but it's okay because I have lots of footage. Since I was a reporter covering the story, I do have plenty of footage of what it looks like inside the memorial, and you can't get that anymore. So I can start posting that stuff as 9/11 approaches and the 24th anniversary of the day our entire country changed, and not for the better. Unfortunately, because it seemed like And Bob and Darlie can talk about this too, but right after 9/11, it seemed like our country was going to be better than ever. It seemed like we were so unified, and we loved each other so much, and all of our differences just disappeared.
They say that we want the country to be like 9/12, because
Exactly.
everybody was united.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, politicians decided to get in there and create more division again.
Yeah, they
because
did.
that's what creates their power.
So I interviewed one of the Indiana local coroners, one of the guys who came out here. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, and he passed away a few years ago. But I did have the opportunity and the honor to interview him, and he told me that right after 9/11, they had local law enforcement on site. They had the FBI, they had the CIA, they had just every three-letter agency you could imagine. He said that he never saw anything like it before. Everybody spoke in hushed tones. Everybody was super respectful of the site and of each other. Everybody cooperated. He said he never saw that before, and he never saw it again. And I guess it was like, how does that happen, Bob? All of a sudden everyone's together and the next moment they're flying apart like vortexes. What?
Everyone focuses on what's important at times like that, and they forget about all the silly little differences that we have. And then people play on those differences for their own gain, and they start to create division again, and then you end up back where we were at about 8 months ago, with division and hatred and group politics and group ideologies. Because if you're busy hating the other group, men or women or gays or whatever the case is, you won't focus on what they're doing.
That's so true. Yep, that's why they want us fighting amongst ourselves so that we don't understand what is really at stake here. And that is our humanity. Our humanity is at stake. Our love for each other is at stake. And this world needs to come together. It's, and it isn't just our country. It's like this sickness has just enveloped the entire world.
It's an evil.
Yeah.
It's evil.
It's evil.
Absolutely evil. And the only way to fight evil is to stand up to it.
That's true.
That's the only way.
That's true.
You can't fight it by ignoring it, because you'll just lose.
Because apathy is actually the greatest crime of all.
Apathy is absolutely the greatest crime of all.
It's really hard for me to be here, you guys. I drove up to this memorial in just tears. Just seeing the signage just put me in a tailspin. No matter how many times I come here, it never gets easier. How are you feeling?
Emotional. I stood right here in this very spot with my son about a week after the crash happened, when there was nothing here except for debris and caution tape and a very silent, eerie breeze, just like there is today. And 24 years later, I'm back here, and it's just as emotional. When you realize the depth of what happened here, and think about the innocent lives lost, and how the people on Flight 93 fought back, and how that's what the American spirit is. It's just overwhelming.
It really is, to imagine people who knew that something really bad was happening, and they knew. And the proof that they knew is in that memorial. If you've never been to a 9/11 memorial, if you don't go to any of them, you go to this one.
Yeah, they have recorded calls in there of some of the recordings of the phone calls that were made.
It's horrifying.
We've heard them on the news
Yeah.
before, but when you can listen to them again, it's a stark reminder of what position those people were in and what actions they took. And it's really amazing.
It really is. And then I'm reminded, we're on Facebook right now, because I'll never forget meeting Mercy Lorenzo. I don't see Mercy's name on here right now, but I look at Mercy and I feel like Mercy is the untold story of 9/11. Her name is in the 9/11 Commission. And I met her because I was doing my shows and, you know, wrote my book, and she bought it and read it and then contacted me and told me that she was the operator that took the call that day from flight, I'm sorry, 77?
75.
75.
75,
No,
77.
77.
Yeah.
The Washington flight that went into the Pentagon. And she spoke to Sandra Olson. As you know, Sandra Olson was a reporter and was actually putting a book out, made to be published the next day, Bob. What do you think about coincidences?
I don't think there are such things. Nothing happens by accident.
I agree. So I think that's a lot of weirdness there. And her book was about the Clintons. Did you know that?
I did not.
I have it.
Now I'm not surprised, though.
So we will never really know exactly what happened that day. It remains a murder mystery.
As do many, many, many things.
I have a lot of questions, and I know it's probably, I don't know, this is the best time to say it, but I just came from Butler yesterday covering that story. I used to cover the Butler area for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette as a freelance journalist. Freelance, but always on the case, sitting in all the meetings, you know, covering all the school district meetings, municipal meetings, everything. Butler was my place. And so going back there was really, you know, being in Fort Lauderdale when President Trump got shot it was really crazy for me, because I knew that I was looking at my friends and neighbors who were there. My buddy Vincent Fusca, you know, he stuck out like a sore thumb. Seeing him sit there looking just totally bewildered was heartbreaking. And being a Butler, I know a lot of people are like, this isn't the same thing, but in many ways it is.
A lot of similarities, aren't there? A lot of unknowns, things that will never be known.
Yeah.
You know, human error, incompetence, corruption, the questions are all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even really sure that Thomas Crooks was the shooter.
It's questionable. I said the other day to someone, we had a discussion about it, and I said it's either complete incompetence or corruption, and I can't see agents being that incompetent.
How could they be Secret Service agents if they were that incompetent?
I don't think you can be.
I don't think so either.
I would like to think you can't be. But again, I wouldn't like to think you could be
That's
corrupt
an elite
either.
job.
It's an elite job. It gets no better. You're protecting the leader of the free world.
Yeah,
We're supposed to be.
Very serious. And, you know, we were all traumatized seeing President Trump get shot. But the people who were there in the stands behind him, spending the week with them, they are beyond traumatized. They have PTSD so badly, you can't imagine what it is like for those people. And 1 year later, they are not doing well. They are very worried, and they're calling for unity. But at the same time, it's hard. It's hard when you have people even questioning if he really got shot. It's hard. You have people saying things about President Trump still that are not true. And the hatred is so pervasive in there. And some people seem like actually hoping it happens again.
They are 100% instigating violence at every turn.
At every turn.
Because that divisiveness is what keeps them in power. It's just as simple as it gets no simpler. They stay in power and they keep lining their pockets because we're out here fighting amongst ourselves.
Yeah. But you know what the good news is? Number one, God is in control.
100%.
And I think that we have to see the evil in order to understand it, because a lot of people walk around blind to it.
We just had that conversation.
We did. Let's have it again.
Okay.
Say it. You're so good at the words.
People are oblivious to things going on around them. They live in their own little bubble. I was the commander of a supermax prison, and many times people would say to me things like, "Who would do something like that?" And we say the same thing about terrorists or anyone else in this world. And the key is not to be able to think like them, because you can't think like them. But what you have to be able to understand is that those people exist so that you can protect yourself from them. You can't be naive and live in a bubble with your head in the sand and not know that stuff like that exists. And when you know it exists, you can at least prepare yourself a little bit for it. You may never be able to understand it. You won't be. There's no way you can understand someone who murders 10 people or someone who...
Nor should you understand it.
No, if you did, you might be someone I'd be worried about.
Right, exactly.
But people just don't. As long as you can look at certain things and understand not why they did it, but how it happened, you can kind of understand. It gives you, because we have to have closure as human beings. We have to have closure in our lives with everything, whether it's relationships, whether it's jobs, whether it's the passing of a relative or a loved one. We have to have closure, and closure comes from understanding the situation. And unfortunately, with a lot of things like this, you can't understand it. You have to really look at it and try to figure out, get some answers for yourself to be able to have that closure.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. You know, when you see this clear and present danger, and then you have people telling you it's evil on both sides. And I'm like, you know, I kind of got I got waylaid by a couple of Democrats the other day. They really, you know, they surprised me. I just didn't think about it. I came from Butler, you know, like where hatred is destroyed an entire community's faith and trust, and they took away a first responder, actually the fire superintendent, the fire chief of the township. I mean, Buffalo Township's fire chief, they killed. Like, that's such betrayal of public trust. And everybody who went to that rally that I spoke to said they felt like they were being attacked. Not just President Trump, but they felt as if the bullets were coming to all of them. And indeed, 3 people were struck and 1 person died. So they weren't wrong.
No, not at all. That attack was on every one of us.
It was on everyone. And what they wanted us to see.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, what did we see? I saw God. I saw angels. I saw a man who absolutely was chosen to lead our country again. I saw a miracle that day. So, you know, it's just horrible that someone had to lose their life. At the same time, I saw hope that day. It was kind of amazing. You saw it too. And that's why he's president right now.
And that's the case in everything. That's the case we were just talking about here, about how after 9/11, everyone was united. You saw people looking for the positives, like the Flight 93 passengers defending themselves and attacking the cockpit. Anytime good people, what do they say? For evil to take hold, good men do nothing.
Apathy.
Apathy. And when good men stand up, and women, you can defeat any evil.
Yeah.
Evil can't exist. Darkness can't exist in the light.
Thank you.
And when you have that outlook, just like you said, after Butler, there were positives. You saw miracles. You saw people united. The same thing happened after 9/11.
Yeah.
And again, we tend to sort of forget things after a while, and then people exploit that short memory.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, you guys, I'm going to say ciao for now. I only see 6 people watching, which tells me that Facebook doesn't want you to see this post. They do hide my posts from you. They don't like the things that I report on. But I am a journalist. I have been a journalist for the past 40 years, a real journalist. And I'm a one-woman show now because of the state of my profession.
40 years and you're such a young girl.
Thank you. Actually, I'm super excited because this is the year that I turned 60, and I am embracing it. And I know you already did that.
I did it a couple years ago.
I know, and you're super lucky because you get all the benefits of being old. Not that you're old, but just saying I can't wait to be 62, but I'm pretty psyched to be 60 and still be upright. So
you do get a little different perspective on life as well when you have more years behind you than you do ahead of you.
Yeah, wisdom's a real thing.
It really is. It changes your perspective and your outlook on things. Mm-hmm. It's too bad what do they say? Some age comes with wisdom, but sometimes age comes alone.
Yeah. Well, not in our case. I think that we've got a lot of wisdom here between the two of us. So, and like I said, I'm going to be publishing his first book, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'm becoming a book publisher. I'm so excited about it, and so I'm gonna just be blah blah blah, and never stop talking about the stuff that I'm doing because I feel that it's really important. And tell them a little bit about your book just to get them psyched.
Well, I have a small wellness practice, and I also do some life coaching. And so my book basically is going to be the fundamentals. I have a podcast and a couple of Facebook pages if you want to join those ones.
Yeah, tell them how they can find you.
One is called Best Life 101, all run together. Best Life 101. I have another one that's Bob Norman Jr., and then I have a natural wellness page called Natural Wellness Solutions. So you're welcome to join any of those. But the book is basically going to be a self-help book. To be honest with you, for guys like me, not only guys like me, but people like me. And I say that I'm a veteran of the United States Army, and then I served 20 years with the Department of Corrections as a commander of Supermax prison. I ran death row when I was a lieutenant. So guys like me who are kind of alpha males don't generally ask for help. But I want to take my life experiences and how I worked through problems and how I made it to where I'm at now, and put it in book form so the people that won't ask for help will have the help that they need anyway. They can read it and they can implement those tools on their own. So that's the basis of the book.
It's brilliant, and I think it's something that is very needed because we need our tough guys in this world. We can't have soy boys running our government or really anything.
We've had enough of that.
Yeah, we have, and we've seen what the result is, okay? So it's time for real men to step up.
Listen, I served under Ronald Reagan, and Ronald Reagan's credo was peace through strength. Weakness only leads to evil. You cannot appease evil. The only thing that a bad guy understands, whether it's a bully on the school playground or a terrorist on the world stage, the only thing they understand, fear and respect, is strength. They have to know that I'm going to punch them in the mouth, and that's not what they're after. They're after easy targets. That's why you see school shootings. That's why you see shootings at church. That's why you see people. You never see a shooting in an NRA range, at a gun range. You never see one at a biker rally. You never see one anywhere where there's a threat that they might be countered. So you have got to be strong, but it also takes great strength to be kind. Jordan Peterson says it best, I think. He says you have to be capable of being a monster, but then you have to control it, because that's what gives you your value. If you're weak, being nice is not an option for you. You have no other choice. But when you are strong and you choose to be kind, that's where value comes in.
And that applies to everybody all throughout life. And so if you're living in, if you're in a relationship and you're being abused, you do have to stand up for yourself. And I say that as someone who has been there and I've done that. And my life is so much better now that I do stand up for myself, because weakness, it never works out well. It's a really bad look.
The last thing I'll say is, you are where you are because you've chosen to be there. And you may think that that's not true, but there's a famous Rush song that says, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So choosing not to act,
I love that line,
is a choice to remain in the situation you're in, whatever it is.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Bob. All right, we're going to spend the day here, so expect us back a little bit. And it's really hard for me to give Facebook my time, but I'm not doing this because of Facebook or anything. I'm doing it because of you guys. And I know that you'll watch this show even if you can't see it live, but I do hope that you will share it and get through the algorithm that wants to hide my shows, because it's really a shame the things they promote on this platform. It's sad. It's just sad. Tell them again how they can reach you, Bob.
On Facebook, join my groups, Best Life 101.
It's great too.
That's for motivation, inspiration. I also have Natural Wellness Solutions, which is my page regarding natural wellness. I'm a naturopathic doctor now. And also Bob Norman Jr. That one has basically a little mix of what's on Best Life 101. So it's motivational and inspirational. And I believe in just telling people the way it is. I'm not rude, but I'll ask you, why are you doing that? What's wrong? Like, why are you choosing to be in that abusive relationship?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not choosing. Yes, you are. By not acting, you are. So you'll get a lot of motivational and inspirational and some things, some spiritual based things on there as well, because I'm a child of God and director of security at my church even. So a lot of good stuff on there. Join up. Ask to join and I'll welcome you in.
Yeah, and I've been following him for 10 years, so, you know, he does really have good stuff, and I can't wait for his book, so can't wait. I got to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
and it will. We're motivating each other on this one.
Absolutely.
So, and you guys can help motivate us, too. So if you're interested in Dr. Bob's book, you know, drop him a line and let him know that, you know, get it done, get
Reach
it done.
out, it helps.
It does help.
It does help, because you hit slow spots where you're just like, when you procrastinate.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah, but when people are on your case,
it pushes you to get things finished.
It really does. It really does. And you guys all did that for me with Do You Think About Me on my birthday. It exists because you made me do it.
It does.
You did. You made me do it. And I will forever be grateful to you. So, yes, Evelyn, we all need inspiration. You are so right. All right, you guys. Let me say ciao for now. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
See you soon. Keep tuned to the Beach Report. And if you're on to YouTube, we'll be doing YouTube shows as well. So watch out for us on YouTube. And we're going to spend the next couple hours here and just, you know, trying to get through it all.
Soak it all in.
Soak it all in. All right, you guys.
Have a great day.
Take care.